In this video, we are going to convert and use degrees, minutes, and seconds, and understand restrictions and definitions of obtuse, acute, right, and straight angles. So remember from day one, angles are formed by two rays, and angles are always going to have measures in degrees. Now, there are four types of angles that have different measurements. The first one is an acute angle. So an acute angle is our smaller angles. They are going to have a measure between 0 and 90. So this says 0 is less than the measure of angle A, which is less than 90. It has to fall within that range. The measure of a right angle is always going to have the same measurement. It's always going to be 90 degrees. So if you ever see lines that have a box between them, that means that those lines are perpendicular and our angle is going to be 90 degrees. An obtuse angle then is like an acute angle. It falls within a range. So an obtuse angle is our bigger angle that's going to fall between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. And then our last angle is a straight angle, and a straight angle is going to have a measure of 180 degrees. So anytime you see a straight line, that is essentially a straight angle that has a measure of 180 degrees. So in number one, given angle P, what are the restrictions on the measure of angle P? So because angle P is acute, that means it has to be between 0 and 90. So we would have 0 is less than the measure of angle P, which is less than 90 degrees. What are the restrictions on x? So we are going to take our angle here, 4x minus 16, and substitute in for the measure of angle P so that we can solve for x. So when we rewrite this, we have 0 is less than 4x minus 16, which is less than 90. When you are solving, whatever you do to that angle in the middle, you have to do to both sides of your equation. So first I'm going to add 16 to all three spots. So we get 16 is less than 4x, which is less than 106. And then we're going to divide everything by 4. So 4 is less than x, which is less than 53 over 2. So because it was a decimal, we're going to convert it to a fraction. So to do that on your calculator, we would do 106 divided by 4, hit the button math, enter, enter, and that will give us our reduced fraction. In number 2, angle Q is obtuse. So if angle Q is obtuse, what are the restrictions on angle Q? So if angle Q is obtuse, it's going to be between 90 and 180 degrees. Then we're going to substitute our angle 6x plus 18 in for the measure of angle Q so we can get the restrictions on x. So 90 is less than 6x plus 18, which is less than 180. So we can subtract 18 from both sides. So we get 72 is less than 6x, which is less than 162. And then we can divide both of those numbers by 6. So we get that 12 is less than x, which is less than 27. So that means we can pick any x value to substitute into our angle to get an angle measurement that will make that angle obtuse. So there's tons of variations of what the measure of angle Q could actually be. So while angles are measured in degrees, degrees are based on a 60 system, just like a clock. So we can break degrees down further into minutes and seconds. So for a degree, 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. So that circle is going to represent degree, and the 1 apostrophe is going to be minutes. So we know that 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. We also know that 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So when we get degree measurements of angles that are not exact numbers, we can convert them into degree minutes and seconds. Now, this can be done using your calculator. So in number 3, we have 101.5 degrees. So 101.5, we can do 101 plus 1/2. That gets us 101.5. To convert this into degrees, minutes, and seconds, we can use our calculator. To do that, you are going to hit the second apps key. As you see above apps, there's the word angle. If you go down to option 4, there's a little arrow that says DMS. That stands for degrees, minutes, seconds. So I can hit the number 4. It'll take me back to my screen. I can hit enter and it will convert that. So in this case, it would be 101 degrees, 30 minutes, and 0 seconds. If it's 0 seconds, we don't need to write the seconds. So we would just write 101 degrees and 30 minutes. Now, in number 4, it's already in a decimal, so I can just type 62.7. Second apps gets us to the angle menu. Option 4, enter. So that's going to be 62 degrees, 10 minutes, and 12 seconds. So 62 degrees, 10 minutes, and 12 seconds. Now, we can also go the other way, where if we have our degrees and minutes or degrees, minutes, and seconds, we can go back into degrees with a fraction. So remember that 60 minutes make a degree. So we're going to take our minutes and we're going to put that over 60 and then reduce. So we would have 44 and 12 over 60 degrees. 12 divided by 60, you can either reduce that by hand or 12 divided by 60, math, enter, enter, and it gives us a fraction of 1/5. So we have 44 and 1/5 degrees. We can do the same thing in number 6. So we have 113 degrees and 40 over 60 degrees. So we can do 40 divided by 60, math, enter, enter. That's 2/3. So we would have 113 and 2/3 degrees. Now, with angles, we can add and subtract them from each other. So in number 7, we want to add these two angles. 14 degrees, 52 minutes, and 39 seconds, plus 62 degrees, 8 minutes, and 12 seconds. So I'm going to write them so that each column lines up with each other. So degrees, minutes, and seconds. So I have 14 degrees, 52 minutes, and 39 seconds, plus 62 degrees, 8 minutes, and 12 seconds. Now I can add each column straight down. So 39 plus 12 is 51 seconds. 52 minutes plus 8 minutes is 60 minutes. And 14 degrees plus 62 degrees is 76 degrees. Now, because of this 60 minutes, I can change that into a degree. So when I change that into 1 degree, I have 77 degrees, 0 minutes, and 51 seconds. In number 8, now we're subtracting. So we're still going to rewrite this 63 degrees, 12 minutes, and 53 seconds minus 25 degrees, 45 minutes, and 12 seconds. So as I'm subtracting, I can do 53 minus 12, and I get 41 minutes. Now, when I get to this, seconds. When I get to the minutes, I have 12 minutes and 45 minutes. 12 minus 45 is going to give me a negative number, and I don't want a negative number. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to borrow. So I'm going to change this to 62 degrees, which moves 60 minutes over here, so that becomes 72. So now I can do 72 minus 45 to get 27 minutes, and then I can do 62 minus 25 to get 37 degrees. In number 9, we have 90 degrees minus 32 degrees, 18 minutes, and 39 seconds. So right now, I don't have anything on the top in my seconds degree, so I'm going to have to borrow. I'm going to have to change 1 degree into 60 minutes and then I'm going to have to change that to 59 minutes so I can get 60 seconds. So now that I have something in every column, I can subtract. 60 minus 39 gets me 21 seconds. 59 minus 18 gets me 41 minutes. And 89 minus 32 gets me 57 degrees. In number 10, given that TRS is a straight angle and TRX is a right angle, the measurement of TRX equals 9x plus 90 and XRS equals 5x plus 10. Solve for x and y. So I'm going to label my diagram. I know that this is a right angle, that's 90 degrees, which means this side is also 90 degrees. I was also given that TRX is 9x plus 9y, and that XRS is 5x plus 10y. So I know that they're both 90-degree angles, so we're going to have 9x plus 9y equals 90, and 5x plus 10y equals 90. So in order to solve a system, I need to eliminate one of my variables. So I'm going to eliminate my x's. So I'm going to multiply by 5 on top and negative 9 on the bottom. So when I multiply, I get 45x plus 45y is equal to 450. And then I have negative 45x minus 90y is equal to negative 810. So when I add my two columns straight down, my x's cancel out, and I have negative 45y is equal to negative 360. So when I divide by negative 45, I get y is 8. And then I can substitute back in. So 5x plus 10 times 8 equals 90. 5x plus 80 is equal to 90. 5x is equal to 10, so x is 2. So my answer then would be 2, 8. In number 11, angle DEF is a straight angle, and the measurement of DEG is 48 degrees and 2 minutes. Find the measure of GEF. So if I have a straight angle here, DEF, there's some line over here that has, or ray that has G on it. So I know that this angle is 48 degrees and 2 minutes. So I know in a straight angle I have 180 degrees, so I can do 180 degrees minus 48 degrees and 2 minutes. I'm going to have to borrow a degree to get some minutes. So I now have 60 minutes, so 60 minus 2 is 58 minutes, and 179 minus 48 is 131 degrees. In number 12, I want to solve for x and find the measure of each angle. So now down here, I can assume that this is a straight line. So in a straight line, it's 180 degrees. So we have x squared minus 76 plus 5x minus 10 is equal to 180 degrees. So we get x squared plus 5x. I'm going to move the 180 to the other side. So I have x squared plus 5x. I can subtract 180 from both sides, and I get negative 266 is equal to 0. Two numbers that multiply to negative 266 and add to 5, so I would have x plus 19 and x minus 14 is equal to 0. So we can switch our signs. X is equal to negative 19 and x is equal to 14. Now, if I look at negative 19 and I substitute into this angle, I would get a positive number. But if I substitute into here, I would get a negative. And I can't have a negative angle measurement, so we are not going to use x equals negative 19 as a solution. So we just have x is 14, so to get each angle, we're going to do 14 squared minus 76 is 120 degrees. And 5 times 14 minus 10 is 60 degrees. In number 13, the ratio of two angles that make a right angle is 7 to 8. Find the measure of each angle. So if we have a right angle, and I'm just going to draw a picture for a visual here. So if we have a right angle, there's two angles together that are making this right angle. They have a ratio of 7 to 8. So that does not mean one is 7 degrees and that's one is 8 degrees. There is a multiple that we can take out of each angle to make our ratio of 7 to 8. So we're going to call x our multiple because we don't know what that multiple was to make those angles. So right now we have 7x and 8x as our angles. We know together that is 90 degrees. So 7x plus 8x is equal to 90. 15x is equal to 90. So when we divide, we get x is 6. So now that we know x is 6, we can substitute in to get our angle measurements. So 7 times 6 is 42 degrees, and 8 times 6 is 48 degrees. In number 14, we want to set up a system of equations to solve for x and y. So in the first picture, we know that they're forming a straight line. So we have 3x plus 24 plus 6y plus 51 equals 180. We can subtract 24 and 51 from 180, and we get 3x plus 6y is equal to 105. In our next picture, we have a right angle, so we know that those together are 90 degrees. So 5y minus 22 plus 2x plus 29 is equal to 90. We can add 22 and subtract 29 from both sides, and we get 83. So we have 2x plus 5y is equal to 83 degrees. Now we can take these equations. 3x plus 6y is equal to 105, and 2x plus 5y is equal to 83, and we can solve our system. So if I want to eliminate my x's, I'm going to multiply the first equation by 2 and the second equation by -3. So we get 6x plus 12y equals 210. And we get negative 6x minus 15y is equal to negative 249. So when we add straight down, the x's cancel out, and we're left with negative 3y is equal to negative 39. So y is 13. And then we can substitute to get x. So 2x plus 5 times 13 equals 83. Remember, you can use either equation. So I have 2x plus 65 is equal to 83. We can subtract 65 from both sides. 2x is equal to 18. So x is 9. So we know that x was 9 and y was 13.